What is going on? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we are going to be reviewing Sports Illustrated's most recent 2025 NFL mock draft. If you are new, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys know how to use YouTube. Below my face is my board. I'm doing some defensive back reevaluation, so you will be seeing guys moving up, moving down, or simply not moving at all. But there are certain players I ended up having an asterisk next to, which was reevaluation plus thinking that they're going to go down. Some of them didn't actually go down. So super exciting for that. But let's get on into this. And then, of course, go to that link tree. You can be 2 clicks away from doing anything, including our sponsor, UnderDog Fantasy, where you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and some special stuff when you get to sign up. Of course, if you guys are used to the show or follow me on X, you guys also know that I've been in a car crash just about a week ago. Still dealing with some pain from that. That's why I don't have my face light on. Under concussion protocol still. My neurologist said I could do like 30 minutes. So that's why I'm doing recordings that are roughly this long. Ended up surviving a 50-minute one the other day. But regardless, if you guys want to support me, the easiest way to do that is honestly supporting yourself by using that UnderDog code because they send me $60. But if you guys want to, there's a Venmo link on the link tree as well. So much love. Let's get into this. Starting out with the number 1 overall pick. Patriots go Travis Hunter. He is going to be kind of one of those guys who are air quotes a weapon. I'm a big fan of his game, obviously. It's just like, I think that, he's just one of those rare athletes that can be very proficient at both positions. And he's one of the guys who I'm considering reevaluating how I look at particular routes, like 90-degree cuts, ins and outs. He ends up bending them, but he bends them with proper momentum to where you necessarily won't lose the separation that you would by somebody who doesn't maintain a momentum through a curved route because they just can't sink their hips. So it's certainly interesting, but we'll be debating that as time goes on. Travis Hunter would probably be a wide receiver because you look at where the money goes. And rather than, for me, I think he's a better cornerback, but we'll leave it there. Panthers then go after Cam Ward at number 2 overall. A lot of people do believe that, Cam Ward could be worth a top 5 pick. He went top 5 in my most recent mock draft with trades. Feel free to check that out. And I think that's, perfectly reasonable. He has a ton of arm talent. He's good mobility. He's kind of, if Malik Willis were more NFL ready or NFL translatable, Cam Ward would be very similar to that. Risky, great arm, good legs. It's like he probably is just more run to scramble to throw than Malik Willis was, which was scramble to run. So Cam Ward, big fan of his game. Hello. I just don't think he's worth a number 2 overall pick, but we're seeing him bounce back from having a little bit of a mid-season slip in terms of turnover-worthy plays. The Browns then go Shedeur Sanders. The Browns do need to go after quarterback. I personally would wait till the end of the first and trade up, but that's just me. Offensive tackle with Will Campbell, I think would be a wiser move at this spot. But again, quarterback's the most valuable position, so I don't disagree fully. Then the Titans go T-Mac to replace where they just traded DeAndre Hopkins. It makes sense, but I'd rather go after Jaden Higgins round 2. Again, we're talking about those values that you'd be getting for spending, you look at a top 5 pick compared to a second round pick. And for me, I still think Jaden Higgins might be even better than T-Mac. Completely different styles of player, of course. But you're looking for someone who's going to be more of that possession style. And T-Mac as well as Jaden Higgins can accomplish that. And it's like, what skill set do you value more? Because T-Mac's going to be a little bit more athletic in a straight line. Jaden Higgins is going to be a little bit more physical and have the separation capabilities. It's kind of more so up to you. But for me, I don't see that as, I see as a small enough drop-off, air quotes, to be able to justify going for him in the second round when there are other positions you could easily address here. The Jets then go Will Johnson. Very intriguing. He's going to be the guy, I assume, DJ Reed's in his final year of his contract. So, Will Johnson, my God. Will Johnson and Sauce Gardner were the 2 highest graded players I think I've ever studied. Will Johnson still needs to get a full reevaluation for the year. He's been banged up, but his play last year was, probably up there with the best I've ever seen. The Saints then go Mason Graham. After a punchy defensive interior that has succeeded in Brian Brzee, I don't think that they'd shy too far away from kind of going after a model that's worked. Pick number 7, you got the Jaguars going Kelvin Banks. It's a pick that I do myself. Perfectly fine with that. Then we have the Raiders going Jalen Milroe. By the way, not a fan of Sports Illustrated. This is a great picture, by the way. I'm going to be stealing this for the thumbnail. But not a fan of how SI actually structures their website. The layout's not that great, which is surprising because Sports Illustrated is a big brand, kind of. But regardless, Jalen Milroe goes to the Raiders at 8. I think that Jalen Milroe has kind of pushed himself to the late first based on his inconsistent play. He's just a ridiculous athlete. You're going to need a lot of time to develop him. If somehow Getsy stays, I could see him having a Justin Fields final year at Chicago type year where he's going to be running a lot. But I don't know, man. I don't think you guys want to have Getsy there either. The Giants then go Quinn Ewers. Hold on. This was this week, right? Like this. Hold on. This is this week. Yeah, the 23rd. I'm filming this on the 26th. Come on, man. Come on. So this is instantly a you don't know ball moment when you put Quinn Ewers in the first round, especially the top 10. Yeah, no, that's an instant hit to this dude's credibility. Obviously does not watch this guy at all. His highs are quite impressive. That's great. You don't take the highs are quite impressive after the dude had 6 turnover-worthy plays in the most translatable game. I mean, it's just no. That's a really bad pick. I think you all know that's a bad pick too. We're right now debating if he's worth a 2nd or 3rd round pick, right? Like a day 2 pick, not a top 10 pick. That's really bad by them. That's a really bad luck for him. But the Dolphins at 10 go Will Campbell. And again, say what you want about Quinn. Again, I have my very, very crazy takes. But if a player is sucking complete cheeks, I'm not going to be putting them in this, regardless of how much I like them. Like, I mean, obviously you guys see Denzel Burke still here, but that dude he's getting his reevaluation. That's why I put the star there, right? Like, I'm not going to be putting Denzel Burke in the first round. As much as I think maybe he could bounce back and be that guy, he needs to prove it. Like, this is just complete BS. Gonna be honest. Not many mocks piss me off, but that kind of pisses me off. The Rams are a injury merchant and end up selecting Ben Morrison here. Corner's a position they can definitely target. Not going to complain about that at all. James Pierce goes to the Bengals. I personally do not think James Pierce fits the size profile that the Bengals usually go after. I think that you could go after JT Tuimoloau, who I have as the highest graded edge rusher of that build. Pick number 13, the Cardinals go Abdul Carter. Makes a ton of sense. He should have went a lot earlier. Emory Jones go to... Come on. They're going to talk about him as a tackle, aren't they? Yup. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. This guy just left 9 pressures a couple weeks ago, and they're putting him as the 14th overall pick. Man, like, stuff like this just... It breaks my heart because people like this, they give Sports Illustrated a bad name. Like, these guys give CBS a bad name because it's obvious how stupid it is that you don't even keep up to date. Like, you don't even keep up to date with the guys who you're talking about. Like, if you're getting paid for this, bro, this is your everyday job. This is not my daily job. This is my hobby that I'm trying to make my everyday job. And you can't even have the, like, actual, like, stones to have some form of integrity. Ridiculous to say that Emory Jones. First off, if you put O lineman, I would not be saying this. Because, like, yeah, maybe you can kick him to guard if need be as he develops to be a tackle. But to straight up put him as the 14th overall pick after having a 9 pressure allowed week. Unfucking believable. Like, genuinely. This, like, I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. These people get paid to do this. Like, what the hell, man? Like, they get paid to do crap at a rate of, I think, 5 to 6 times of what I make in a year doing this. Unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. But the Chargers at 15, go Kenneth Grant. Makes sense. It's an instant fit. Pick number 16, we got the Cowboys going Ashton Genty. It's my dream fit for him. At 17, the Buccaneers go Siobhan Revelle. I know I'm skipping over those picks. I mean, at the bottom line, I've already talked about those picks several times. Ashton Genty should be going a lot higher. And Kenneth Grant has been having a great year. But genuinely, this mock draft pisses me off because it just shows how little you can actually trust these articles. And it's like, it sucks because I don't want to be an arbiter of truth because I want to read a mock draft and have a good time, right? I don't want to be here and, like, obviously you guys who don't spend the money on coaching tape and don't want to watch guys like Emory Jones with your free time. I don't blame you. I really don't. And you guys read these articles and then you think, okay, well, Quinn Ewers is still a top 10 pick, maybe. Like, this Emory Jones kid's a first round pick. Why is he not going the first rounds of all these other mocks? It's like you lose trust in this industry because there's a lot of, for a lack of a better word, there's a lot of dumbasses. And unfortunately, I hope this guy just had a bad day or something, or maybe he ended up recycling an old mock draft. But this is a pretty garbage-ass mock. Buccaneers going after Shavon Revel. At least he knows that he has an ACL tear. Good frame. I mean, I would prefer to go after edge rusher at this point, but you can't really disagree with going after a high-value position with a high-value player. Michael Williams goes to the Eagles at 18. I mean, it would be the guy who'd end up replacing Josh Sweat on the squad, BG role. Very, very flexible, built to be an edge rusher. The Seahawks then go Arianti Ursary. It's a pick that I've made myself, so we'll see what happens there. But, you know, I definitely think that that could be a solid move to move him to right tackle and see how he performs. Pick number 20, you got the Colts going Malachi Starks, also a pick I made myself. I don't know why he's slipping, but he's still a top-tier player. Luther Burden goes at 21, another pick that I've made. Of course, these picks are all good because they had crap picks earlier that put players that are good down the board, right? Like, you guys start thinking about the fact that these end of mock drafts are going to feel all loosey-goosey because, you know, when you make mistakes early on, it gives you a much better pool to select from as the time goes on. But Luther Burden going to the Broncos, it's a pick I made. It makes a lot of sense. Nick Scorton to the Falcons, it also makes sense. A bigger edge rusher. I would say that, you know, with his stand-up presence, I think he could actually be in that Judon role if you guys don't bring him back. So, makes sense. The Bears then go Tyler Booker. You're getting a flexible offensive lineman. It just depends if you think Karan Amagaji is going to be the future at tackle. And this draft and offseason will be able to indicate that. The Ravens then go Jonas Avenia. He's going to be a guard for them in the short run. At least they end up putting it as O-lineman. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm curious to see what they end up saying here. He's played both tackle spots for Arizona this fall. He's only allowed 1 sack and a quarterback hit. Okay. I mean, I don't think that they're talking about the fact that he's a native right tackle. And there are other left tackles, including Josh Simmons, including a plethora of other players, including Jack Nelson, that could be far better if you're looking at this guy as a pure offensive tackle versus if you're looking at offensive lineman, then Jonah would be the guy for you. Pick number 25, the Bills go Isaiah Bond. I highly doubt that he would be dropping this far, but unless he has injury problems, this dude's going to be he'll be easily a top 25 pick. It's going to be deciding on where. And, you know, that's going to be heavily draft order related. Commanders then go to Cario Davis. So not great change of direction. Not necessarily great in press. I think he's kind of more of someone who is still developing heavily in that category. I don't really think, the more I look at it, that the Commanders would be going after Cario Davis. This is kind of like a rinse, wash, repeat pick that a lot of other people do. I see almost zero originality in this as well. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what his, he's not talking obviously about anything about Cario Davis apart from the fact that he looked at 1 career interception, 15 pass breakups, 16 passes defended in 2023. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's pretty obvious this guy hasn't done any actual legitimate research beyond clicking on some names and then clicking on some mock drafts. It's unfortunate, guys. I really wish that it weren't like this. The Steelers go Deone Walker. With the plethora of guys available and also the plethora of positions that we need, going after defensive interior, I don't think is going to be something that I necessarily believe is what we're going to spend our first round pick on. If we do, we'll see. Like, Cam Hayward's contract's structured in a way where we could try to do something like this, but I highly doubt the Steelers would be doing this because Steelers have been pretty damn solid after round 1 with drafting their defensive interiors. Pick number 28, the Packers then go Jalen Walker. They have him listed as a linebacker. Inside, oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Off-ball linebacker. Dude. Uh-oh. We found another one. He doubles as an edge rusher at least. He at least says that. But, I mean, just saying that Jalen Walker is going to be a pure inside linebacker, is some bullshit. I think we all can call him out on that. Jalen Walker's role also is very similar to Edgerrin Cooper, because Edgerrin Cooper was really solid on the line of scrimmage. Just it would be a bit of an overlap, and I highly doubt that the Packers would want to create that much of an overlap. Walter Nolan's a pick I made myself. I'm perfectly fine with that for the Texans to get some punchy defense interior talent. Oh shit. All right. Well, this is literally what I was talking about earlier, huh? Oh shit. You got Denzel Burke going to the Vikings. So let's see. Does this guy talk at all about the fact that he got absolutely eaten alive? A rough outing against Oregon. Rough outing. You want to mention the fact that the guy let up almost 200 yards, single-handedly lost him the game. And again, I love Denzel Burke, but you're putting him in the first round after he let up a 180-yard game to not elite level NFL receivers. Like, no. Oh, I'm sorry, Vikings fans. I'm sorry. It is what it is, man. Lions then go Jack Sawyer. Feels like a Detroit Lions pick. I don't think he'll go in the first, but he's a very solid player. And then Chiefs at the end to get JT Tuimoloau. One of my Chiefs fans ended up mentioning the fact that they do believe that edge rusher is a position you guys could be looking at, because FAU really hasn't fully developed into the guy that you're looking for. JT's a top 15 player on my board. So, I mean, Daniel, man. I mean, honestly, dude. Like, how can you genuinely like get a paycheck for not actually staying up to date? Like, it's pretty obvious that you got to pump this content out, dude. And for all you guys who are trying to go into the industry, don't get discouraged by this. Like, this shows you the opportunity of someone who actually, like, what you could do if you actually have some form of integrity. You're already leagues ahead of several analysts that make money off of this. So just stay consistent with yourself, stay honest. But for people like Daniel, you know, thank you for ruining the reputation of the sports industry, honestly. And Daniel's far from the only guy who's done this. There's people who've done far worse. But I mean, when you obviously don't keep up to date and then you're making money off of something that is up to date, it's a really bad look. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys for supporting me in all this. And hopefully, again, don't lose courage. There's other people out there that try to keep the level of integrity up, and we need to support them. Love you guys. See you on the far side. Peace.